Thanks, Mr. Speaker. I guess I should congratulate my friends from across the aisle for finally realizing there's a link between Russia, China, and Iran. This has been U.S. foreign policy since at least the early 2000s, but better late than never, I guess. I do take, I'm taken aback by the fact that there's an allegation that Joe Biden is a strong president because he shot down the drones that Iran sent into Israel. If the president was strong, drones would not have been sent to Israel in the first place. Again, let's not forget that under President Trump, Russia was not attacking Ukraine. Iran was not attacking Israel. It's the president's weakness and his policies of incompetence and American weakness that have invited this aggression. And for the talk about Ukraine, we on this side of the aisle, we have intellectual honesty and consistency on this. Because you can be for defeating Russia, and you can also be for Israel defeating Hamas. You can also be for holding Iran in check. But it's weird that the same people on the other side of the aisle that say that if you talk about a peace settlement between Russia and Ukraine, that we're somehow using Russian talking points. But those same people will be the same ones that will say that we need to have a ceasefire in Gaza before the IDF is afforded their God-given right to destroy their enemy, Hamas. Sounds to me like the talking points of Hamas, but I'll let others draw their own conclusion on that. Talking about more failures of the Biden administration, let's talk about the southern border and about how many terrorists have crossed that southern border. Since President Biden took office, there have been over 340 encounters at the southern border from individuals that are actually on the terrorist watch list. Just this month, news broke of a terrorist from Afghanistan whose organization is responsible for the deaths of numerous Americans. He was released twice, not once, but twice into the interior of the United States after crossing our southern border. He then roamed around unrestricted for almost a year before he was captured. Then earlier this year, a member of Al-Shabaab, which is an al-Qaeda affiliate in Somalia, one of their members was able to live in the U.S. freely for almost a year as well. It's absolutely clear, crystal clear. Biden and radical extreme leftist Democrats cannot be trusted to protect our communities and secure the southern border. The numbers speak for themselves. And talking about incompetence, let's go back and talk about the surrender of Afghanistan. Remember, under President Trump, there were 0 fatalities for the last 18 months before Joe Biden took office. And yet the president, Joe Biden, felt the need to surrender Afghanistan to the Taliban. In 2021, the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan was absolutely the worst military blunder in my lifetime. The Biden administration abandoned the Bagram Air Base and released terrorist fighters from prison, including one that killed 13 service members at Abbey Gate. It has led to a rise in Al-Qaeda and ISIS-K. The CENTCOM commander just testified last month that ISIS-K will have the capability within 6 months to do external operations against the West. We know through OIG reports that President Biden and his failed bureaucrats in the State Department are funding the Taliban and Al-Qaeda through international assistance. But it didn't just impact the Middle East. This has also emboldened China, Russia, and Iran, the 3 countries that Democrats apparently just discovered that there's a connection between in their anti-Western positions. Reports indicate that the withdrawal helped Putin justify his invasion of Ukraine. It's just another blunder in the long list of Biden foreign policy failures.